So this is the Beats Pill. Now I really appreciate the great build quality of this speaker. I love that you can use its USB-C port to charge your own devices, and it has a long battery life. However, for me it is hard to justify this speaker due to its price to performance ratio. But then there is the Bose Soundlink Flex, which is a little older, and its price to performance ratio isn't as good as I'd want it to be in 2024. But it does sound decent and it has a lot of bass to it. Nonetheless, if you are trying to choose between either of these two speakers, let's see which one's right for you. So first, there's price. Now, I feel that both of these speakers suffer from a big name brand tax. The Beats more so than the Bose, but both of these speakers have a retail price of $150, but the Bose now likes to go on sale for $130 on a regular basis. Now, I feel that both of these speakers are overpriced, and I can only recommend them if they're heavily discounted. Nonetheless, if you want to pick either of these two speakers up, they will be linked down below, or you can always press on the YouTube shopping button, and I'll also put some other options down there as well. And if you want to further support the channel, pick up a Big Head approved hat, linked down below. We've got trucker hats and snapbacks. By buying a hat, you help the unbiased and unsponsored videos coming, and it also helps us cover more products and produce more versus videos. Thank you to everyone who's already bought a hat, and look out for more designs coming soon. And also, please remember to hit that like button, and let's get subscribed. So first, there's the design of these speakers. Now, both of these speakers are very small and they're very easy to take on the go with you. Both of these speakers can easily fit into your backpack, and you can attach these speakers onto things thanks to their fabric loops. However, the Beats lanyard is much easier to work with than the Bose's tighter loop. But regardless, both of these speakers feel super premium because they both have a mostly silicone wrap body and they both have a metal faceplate on the front. Whereas with your other more popular options like either the Sony Ultrafield 1 or JBL Flip 6, these other speakers have a mostly fabric wrap body, which is also nice, but they don't feel as luxurious as either the Beats or Bose. And even though these speakers feel more premium, they're both super durable because they're both dust and water resistant. Now, when it comes to battery life, this is an area where the Beats easily beats the Bose. The Beats Pill has an advertised battery life of 24 hours, which is super impressive. However, this advertised battery life of 24 hours is with this speaker playing at 50% volume, which is decent, but this speaker is a little quiet for its size and price. So this is a speaker that you're going to want to use on a higher volume on a regular basis, and a real-world use with this speaker playing at 90% volume is going to be good for around 9 hours of playback time. Whereas the Bose has an advertised battery life of 12 hours, and that's with it playing at 50% volume, and world use with this speaker playing at 80% volume is good for around 8 hours of playback time. And this speaker gets a little louder and has a lot more bass than the Beats. Now, in order to charge these speakers up, they both charge via a USB-C port, as they should, so you can use your phone's charger to charge them up. But something that I really like about the Beats here is that you can use its USB-C port to charge your own devices, and you can use it as a wired connection. Whereas with the Bose, you can't. And I feel that this type of feature is super useful because you can charge your phone if you take your speaker and your phone to the beach. But this is the only port that you'll find on these two speakers. Unfortunately, neither of these two speakers have an audio jack, which is pretty standard for speakers of this size now. So you can't use the Bose with a wired connection, but you can use the USB-C port on the Beats as a wired connection. Now, when it comes to Bluetooth connectivity, both of these speakers can be connected to multiple devices at the same time, so you and a friend can both be DJ. Latency is not an issue for either of these two speakers, so you can use them to watch your videos with on your phone. And when it comes to audio codecs, both of these speakers have support for SBC and AAC. But with all that out of the way, let's talk about sound. Regarding speaker setup, the Bose has a single front-firing woofer and dual-pass radiators that shoot out the front and back of the speaker, whereas the Beats has a single front-firing woofer and a single front-firing tweeter. So just due to the two very different speaker setups here, these two speakers are going to sound and perform very differently from one another. Like I mentioned earlier, the Bose has a lot of bass thanks to its passive radiators, whereas the Beats, the speaker is lacking in the bass department, but it sounds a lot more open because its woofer and tweeter setup helps with its instrument separation. The woofer handles the mids and the tweeters handles the highs, like this.
I feel this vibe goes from my heart right to my fingertips.
So, like you may have just seen, the woofer handles the mids and the tweeter handles the highs. And this is going to help the Beats Pill with instrument separation, but the Beats leans towards a brighter sound signature, whereas the Bose leans towards a warmer sound signature. And you can't adjust the EQ on either of these two speakers. But now we're going to go ahead and jump into the sound test. Both of these speakers are playing at 90% volume.
My city's gonna tell you the tale. Everyone was left in the veil. My time won't come to an end. Take a look around, it's a war zone. The damage is already done. Take a look around, it's a war zone. The damage is already done. Take a look around. And keep your guns high, it's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting for my life, so keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting. I'm bad to the bone. Got blood on my knees. I'm bad for my life, I'm fighting. Yeah, I'm bad to the bone. Got blood on my knees. I'm bad for my life, I'm fighting. The ash came burning down. No, you won't hear a sound. The screaming bottled within. Take a look around. And keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting for my life, so keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting. And I'll be fighting for my life, so keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting for my life, so keep your guns high. It's a war zone. It's a war zone. And I'll be fighting.
So like you may have just heard, the Beats sounds noticeably more open and has a lot more definition in the highs than the Bose because the Beats has that dedicated tweeter that handles the highs. However, the Bose has a lot more bass than the Beats because the Bose has those passive radiators that shoot out the front and back of the speaker. Now Beats says that the Pill doesn't need passive radiators because of the new high performance magnets in the woofer, which is gonna help deliver more bass, but the lie detector determined that was a lie. And when it comes to max volume performance on these speakers, both of these speakers are a little quiet for their size and price in 2024, but the Bose does get a little louder than the Beats. But more importantly, since the Bose has more bass than the Beats, its music sounds a lot more impactful than the Beats. And for that reason, I prefer how the Bose sounds over the Beats, even though technically the Beats sounds better because it sounds more open, but it sounds disappointing. But finally, let's talk about pairing these speakers up with other speakers. Now with both of these speakers, if you have two of the exact same speakers, then you can wisely pair them up and get them to play in left and right stereo mode, or you can get them to play in sync. And this type of feature is great, especially if you plan on taking these speakers to the beach with you, because this way you can cover a larger area with music without having to use your speakers at a higher volume and drain their battery life faster that way. However, with the Bose, you can also pair it up with Bose's older Soundlink speakers, which is nice, but you can't connect it to Bose's newer Bose Soundlink Max. So if you're planning on growing your collection of speakers, neither of these two speakers would be great options because their ecosystems are pretty small right now. But with all that being said, I like the premium build quality on both of these speakers, and I really like that you can use the USB-C port on the Beats to charge your own devices. However, for me, it is hard to justify either of these two speakers in 2024 because of their price to performance ratio. Now, if I had to choose between either of these two speakers, it would be the Bose Soundlink Flex because I like the bass that comes out of the speaker. However, if you are looking for a small portable speaker in 2024, personally, I highly recommend that you go with either the JBL Flip 6 or Sony Oldfield 1, because both of these speakers are more affordable and smaller. They both get louder and they both sound better because they sound more open and they have more bass. But personally, I do prefer the Sony Oldfield 1 here over all of these other speakers. If you made it this far, I guess you enjoyed the video, so hit the like button and get subscribed. If you want to pick any of the products up, they'll be linked down below. And if you want to further support the channel, check out the merch. I made some shirts and hoodies that look and feel great. And you know I can be very particular, so I'll only slap my name on something if I'm really proud of it.